Yeah, I'm going to tell a quick story about pheasants. Our grandpa, Tom Arbogast, shout out Tom. He owned 100 and
Yep. Behind the ice cream shop.
yeah,
Yep.
behind the ice cream shop, he owned 110 acres, and it was all CRP. And then the government built the 20-acre wetland back there. It was beautiful. And then they built it in an L shape, and they put a ditch, and then they would drain it, and Grandpa would plant corn in it, and then flood it for
Duck hunting.
yeah.
Yep.
And then so what he used that land for, the government allowed him to do pheasant hunting, quail, and did he have doves?
Dove too.
Doves.
Yeah, because
Yep.
he still has that. He has the pin still.
Yep. So I was 10 years old, and my job was to go into before I worked at the ice cream shop, because Grandma hadn't had that yet. My job, I lived with Grandma and Grandpa in the summers, and my job was to go into the 2 pheasant pens with a pheasant per each pen. They were about football field size pens, and he cut 55-gallon drums in half and put 2 holes in them, and you lifted them up, and you got all the eggs. They laid the eggs. Then I take them back to the barn, and then I put them in the incubator.
Yep.
And then when the season came in, whatever the government allowed him, hunters would come in, they'd buy pheasant, and then we'd go out and we'd do you have to shake them.
shake 'em.
Yep.
Shake
And
and bake, yep.
their heads sit, for everybody that doesn't know, their heads sit in the center, and you shake them, and it kind of makes them dizzy. Then
You like tuck their head up underneath their wing
tuck their
when you
head.
plant them.
Exactly.
Yep.
Tuck their head up under their wing. You kind of stuff them under some grass, and then you set however many the hunter paid for. And then there's some extra pheasant in there that other hunters didn't recover or shoot. And then we ran pointing dogs, and you go out and you shoot them. And like everybody's like, it's kind of like high fence deer, but it really wasn't. It was kind of like you're just setting pheasant, and then you're hunting pheasant But I mean, it was kind of fun because Grandpa would take us out after a few weeks of hunters paying for pheasant, and then he'd take us pheasant hunting for
And catch the ones that didn't get
yeah,
shot.
we'd hunt the ones that didn't get shot. It was fun. I mean, for a 10-year-old kid, and I did that 10, 11, 12, 13, and then started working my grandma's ice cream business, because then Grandpa sold the land and it was farmed. But 10, 11, 12, 13, being in a mule, driving, getting eggs, I mean, how fun of a job is that for a kid? That was
doubt.
pretty awesome.